Excellencies, ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and 안녕하세요. Well, since this is my first time to speak at this forum, I'd like to express my deep appreciation to our good friend Ambassador Park and his government for hosting this wonderful conference and for his hospitality. And also my thanks go to Excellency President Grimson and his colleagues for having invited my minister to Reykjavik in October when he made a very good speech on the Arctic. Well, that being said, I'd like to share with you our thoughts on the Arctic and Asia. Well, Asia and the Arctic are far apart geographically. So in Japan, it's difficult to really impress ordinary people the importance of such relations. But actually, both regions are deeply related. Speaking of the impact of global warming, for example. Accelerated warming in the Arctic affects the weather in mid-latitude countries in Asia. Well, last winter, we suffered from a very severe cold weather. By the way, today, I was very impressed with Korean cold weather as well. But that cold weather really struck East Asia, including Japan. According to our scientists, it was caused by a shift of the jet stream, the course of which was affected by the warm temperature in the Barents Sea. Similar phenomena might have occurred in other mid-latitude regions such as North America, let's say California, and Europe. On the other hand, Asia is contributing to warming in the Arctic. For example, black carbon released from Asia into the atmosphere has increased greenhouse effects in the Arctic. So it is imperative for the Arctic and Asia, as well as the whole world, to accelerate our efforts toward mitigation. Now, at this moment, COP24 is being held in Poland. By the way, I recognize our good friend from Poland here today. I hope that all state parties will come to agree to adopt robust implementation guidelines which can realize the goals of the Paris Agreement. We still don't know clearly the scientific mechanisms of what is happening in the Arctic and how the change in that region affects Asia. Japan has been contributing to monitoring, predicting various phenomena, as well as clarifying mechanisms in the Arctic through the research project, Arctic Challenge for Sustainability, so-called ARCS. Japan's new satellite, for example, Ibuki-2, which was launched in October, is beginning the observation of greenhouse gases, including CO2 and methane, in cooperation with observatories on the ground. I appeal all states to make the data and information they have obtained available to all so that the mechanisms and phenomena surrounding the Arctic will be clarified. At the second Arctic Science Ministerial, the discussion was focused on data sharing and international scientific cooperation, which we highly appreciate. It was approved at the meeting that Japan and Iceland will co-host the third Arctic Science Ministerial in Japan in 2020. Here we are very much grateful for the support and will make necessary preparations for the success of the meeting, coordinating with our friends from Iceland and others. Well, the Arctic affairs have two aspects, of course: challenges, some of which I have just mentioned, and opportunities. As the Arctic sea ice continues melting, the availability of the Northern Sea route and even northwest passage is becoming realistic. This summer, the ice-breaking carrier owned jointly by Japanese and Chinese companies transported LNG of Yamal plant to Asia through the Arctic Ocean. In this connection, Japan's satellites send the data on sea ice and weather in the Arctic almost in real time to the ground. The data is open to all as public goods and is conducive to safe navigation in the Northern Sea route. Last month, a delegation from Faroe Islands visited Japan. The representative told me that the Faroe Islands is a western gateway of the Northern Sea route. And of course, Iceland is also a western gate of the sea route. Looking from Asia, our northern island, Hokkaido, is an eastern gateway of the route, I believe. 3 ships which sailed through the route docked in ports of Hokkaido since 2017. We see potential opportunities for Hokkaido, our northern island, in the context of the Arctic. I hope the time will come soon when Hokkaido can provide us with transit points connecting Asia and Europe. Furthermore, small and medium-sized enterprises in Hokkaido have technologies which can be used under cold weather in such areas as construction, sewage, purification, and clean energy utilizing snow and ice. I hope that business matching between the Arctic region and Hokkaido will be promoted. In June, the Arctic Economic Council and relevant organizations in Hokkaido hosted the third Top of the World Arctic Broadband Summit 2018. We should use such forums involving business people, scholars, and governments to discuss how sustainable development of the Arctic can be achieved. Well, warming in the Arctic might well increase economic activities in such areas as tourism, fisheries, and resource development in the area. While it is to be welcomed as opportunities, we should also respect the environmental ecosystems and the life of indigenous peoples. A rule-based maritime order in the Arctic Ocean is affirmed by Japan, the Republic of Korea, and China. We also attach great importance to rulemaking. Japan, together with others, actively participated in the negotiations leading to the agreement to prevent unregulated high seas fisheries in the Central Arctic Ocean. This legal instrument is a significant progress for safeguarding healthy marine ecosystems and ensuring the conservation and sustainable use of fish stocks. As activities in the Arctic increase in the near future, we may have to negotiate a new international rule to protect the environment in the Arctic. In such case, Japan will actively participate in another rulemaking process. In closing, I'd like to stress that Arctic states, Asia, and other relevant states should work together to tackle challenges and make best use of opportunities of the Arctic. Japan will continue to contribute to the Arctic affairs not just as observer, but as an important partner. Thank you very much for your attention. 감사합니다.